Hello everyone, how are you doing? Hopefully much better than I've been doing. Finally over it, just the voice is a little crackly. So let's give the computer a second, say hi if you're out there. I'd like to know if you're replay watching, if a better time would work better for you, all that good stuff. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I would appreciate it. Come on, computer. Just waiting for it to catch up. Make sure I stay on screen where I should. Oh, come on. You know, me and electronics, they kind of, we always have fun with those. Okay, let's refresh this and maybe it'll find it. Of course, there it is. All right, let's make it a little bigger. Maybe. There we go. Okay, a little crooked as always, but hey. I can't seem to get that to be straight for nothing. Okay, so what did we talk about today? I told you last week that I'd bring you something new. Here is that notoriously new catalog that I cannot show you anything inside, but I can show you actual live product. So if you don't have a catalog, I did order a box, so contact me and we will get that going. So what am I using today? Here's your new sneak peek. This is Cheers and Sips, and it has, hold on, 2 embossing folders. Oh, the other one's in here. So these are little baby embossing folders, and hopefully you can see that pattern. Let me see. Yes, it's pretty good. So there's that one, and then there's this pretty, let's see if that helps, pretty rose one, sort of. That doesn't help. I need something with a little bit. Here we go. Let's see if that helps. There. Now can you see it? Where's that other one? Here's that other one. Okay. There you go. There's your embossing folders. And yes, they are small. They are about a little over 3 1/4 inches wide. Okay. And that was part of the Cheers and Sips paper packet. Okay. And here's the rest of it. And of course I dropped something on the floor. Pardon me. Hold on just a sec. I might need that. So this paper pack is called Celebratory Sips. Cheers and Sips, Celebratory Sips. And it is really pretty paper. Get it out and show it to you. If I can get it to come out of here. I've already been playing with it a bit. Okay, so there's this one with the back side of that. This is the back side. This is the front side. Leave it there for a second so you can see it. Be kind of cool to do something with. It's this pretty floral. And this is a new color. You already saw that one. There's this one, which is different than this one was. Bigger cups. So these you can cut out of with the dies. And then I'll show you everything. I think I have one more. There's 6 different patterns. So this one, which is so pretty. And the back side is this green little pattern there. Okay, and this one does have a pattern. It might not read that there's a pattern on there, but there is a pattern on there. I think it's supposed to be, oh, it just looks like wonky circles. Or maybe strawberries, some of the fruit. I don't know. Anyway, that's the paper packet. That out of the way. And the folders, which we will be using. And again, this is the stamp set. And the dies, -1, because I was using it, which is this one. So this goes inside the cup. It's a pattern die. And I will show you how I used it. I'm going to bring in my, and I just blanked, cutting machine. Whoa. Okay, and where did that die go? Of course, I put it away. So I didn't think I needed it. All right. No, I didn't. Oh, it's right here. It's been one of those days. Okay, so on here you can see that I did this like 4 times. So just for the sake of curiosity, in case anybody's curious, I just kind of vaguely lined it up. Remember, when you're going through your machine, if you angle your straight cuts, it will be easier on your machine. I'm sure I'll forget. Now listen. Just goes through. It doesn't make that clunk, clunk, because it's not having to go over that straight line. All right? Okay. And there we go. All right, so this is how I started. And I'm going to show you a really ucky one. And I did the whole background, then I cut out the circle, then I embossed it. But I found out that if you start out with a circle first, okay, and then emboss it, so I'm going to put it in here where I want it to be, about like that. And then I need to change my plates, those two, take that one away, and put this one on. Again, if you can angle that straight edge you're doing, your machine will work better. And remember, fold in first on embossing folders, and you can only go through once. Don't back it up. Okay? And you really don't need to. And if it's ever too tight, like you're putting one of these in through and it's too tight, there is this little tiny one that you can take out. Because like the 3D embossing folders, you need to take that one out. So if it ever hits that and it just doesn't want to go, don't force it. Refer back to your mats as to what you need to use for what. And then you won't break your machine. Okay? So you might say, but you don't have any background on. Well, not yet. So then what I did is I put my other cutting plate back on. And I put this down, and I put it right there, okay? And now, I'm going to give that side some texture. Like so. Texture here, nothing. Wow, that was good. Texture here, not over here. So we're going to do that again. Give it some more texture, just a little bit. And this one's not quite. Now listen. See how it popped like that? That's hard on your machine. So try to avoid that. And now we've got some texture and we've got our embossing. And I would say, see how that softens your embossing? It just takes the embossing down, maybe too much. So let's try that again. Let's put just a little bit there, and we'll angle it. Sorry, I just kind of was playing around, which is what you got to do. And I'm like, oh, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? So, sorry if I'm not quite as prepared as I normally am. But then you get to see my process. I don't know if you want to see that either, but here it is. Okay, so remember that your embossing will flatten, or your die cuts will flatten whatever you emboss. So die cut first and then emboss. And if you have this up, then it's going the right way to have it, your embossing up. And because I have got that on there, I can position it where I need to make the most sense. Over just a smidge more. There we go. All right, take this one off, put that one down, add an angle. The fold's going in first. And we will get that going. Okay, now let's see what the difference is. Okay. So here's our old one, and here's our new one. Can you see how much difference that made? This one you can really see it. Hopefully you can see it on camera. Okay, so die cut first, then emboss if you're going to be doing something double like that. Let's get rid of this for a second and go on to something else. Okay, I showed you this Eki one, and I just swiped the ink over the top of it, and I didn't really like it. I was playing around with different colors and different things. A little sponge here, didn't like that. This was okay, but it's really messy. And then, what else did I do? Then I did this one. And this one there again, I die cut it first, then embossed, and then went over it with the regular ink, kind of like this. This other one here, I kind of was trying to just get where the emboss was. So this one I just more or less up and back and forth and colored my white paper. And I kind of like how that came out. So the first card, and then I made a card with kind of in between of these two, okay? I did a little bit of this, but I also did a little bit of this, and here's the card I made. I also put some glitter, Wink of Stella, on that part, so hopefully you can see that. No, I'll take a still shot and you'll be able to see it better. So in between of this, and this one would have been fine on here too, if I had wanted to do that. And I raised it up. I cut it out of a circle, out of this paper, so I have that to play with too. But you could have put this one on, whichever way you think is going up. Okay, so that's card number 1. And let's see, what else? Trying to think of if I need to show you how I did that on here. Not really. I think you kind of get it. Oh, and the circle that I used, this is a 3 1/4 from the Stylish Shapes. Now don't forget to go and look online, shopping with me, for last chance items. They just downloaded a whole bunch more. So there's a lot of things that are missing. Go through your catalog, current catalog, the yearly one and the mini one, for January through April, and get those items that you want before they're gone. Last chance, they will say low inventory, and a lot of them are on a really good sale. I saw one set of dies that was normally $33, and it was on sale for like $13 and some change. So it's worth going to look at. Again, JackieBloom.Stampin'Up.net. Find all those bargains, right? Okay. So, what else do I need to show you? I'll show you another card. How about another card? Here's another card that I made. Now, this die, these are kind of really cool, I thought anyway, because you have your outline. You also have the outline. Put it up where you can see it. Make sure I'm on camera. This outline that you can stamp as well. And then you put these two together and cut it out and emboss it. Now this one here is just a plain white one shape, and then I did another one together out of the paper that was this paper. No, not that paper. Where is it? So this is one of these. Okay. And I could have stamped it first too. So it's just layered on 2 layers. A plain layer of white cardstock, and then this texture layer, or this pattern paper, with that emboss or die cut. Okay. And then the orange is just right here, and there's also a circle for the die. So you can cut out your orange, cut out the little stick, and I just raised it up in the middle so it would hold the stick. And this is just part of the paper that's the fruit. And that is something new. Now, there is an umbrella. There's strawberries, cherries, oranges, or it could be a lime. And then there's also some like rosemary. I'm not sure which one of these would be. I think that's mint leaves, and this is maybe basil. There's grape and olive, ice cubes. So you can do all kinds of things with this one, okay? And again, these little baby embossing folders are super cute. And the color I used on here was Berry Burst to stamp those. So I've started doing something new. I just stick these into the envelope. I put my little, this is what my dies came in, but I like to put them in here, so together. And then I just bundle this all together and rubber band it. And then I know I've got everything right there where I need it to be. And again, card number 1, card number 2. Which one is your favorite of these two? And how would you use this stamp set or these embossing folders? What would you do with them? And I've got lots more ideas coming. So if you're local, open house May 3rd. Don't forget to RSVP. Oh, and I did want to show you one more thing. This happy birthday, how I got that. I'm going to show you one more bit of new product. I have this stamp set. A whole bunch of nice words. Okay, but this one's really tricky because it's got 1 die and it's got 1 rubber stamp. Boom. Okay, so the easiest way would be stamp this whole thing up onto your piece of paper, and then I take the negative, okay, and pretend that this is my stamped image on, gotta get it the right way. This is my stamp that I stamped, right? Then what you do is you line it up. Obviously it wouldn't stick like mine is sticking. And you punch the whole kit and caboodle out. Something like that. This is much easier to line up than just putting this down. And then what you can do is just put this down right so it fits inside of there, and then cut it out. And then you'll have lots of little bits like I have in here. But let's just say that you don't want to stamp all those and cut all of those. You just want that happy birthday. Here's what you do. We put this onto here. And if I had a bigger one, which I do, it would work better. And then what I did, take this out, is I matched this up. You have to turn it over. And I matched that up on there. And then I closed it in here. And I need a little something to hold it down. Because you've got to hold that piece down when you lift that up. And it's not quite straight, so I would move it over. And then you get this in there, okay? And then you can stamp a bunch of them in like all different colors. And then, again, your sheet of paper, put this over it, lock this into where it goes, and cut it out. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know, and I will do a video next week and show you what I mean, how to do this one, okay? But I thought it was a great way. You could get a bunch of colors. You got a bunch of words ready to go, right? And if you just do them plain, you don't have to use this. Just find something that fits these shapes and stamp it with a different stamp, okay? So that's my little tidbit for you. And I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you will try, you know, fiddling with your stuff and see what you can do. And as always, I'd like to know which one's your favorite. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye. See you next week. And also look on this group on Facebook, because I will be putting more sneak peeks. I've already loaded about 10 or 12. And that's 10 or 12. That equals 10 or 12 cards that you're going to see at open house when you come. Ta-ta for now.